What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Pursuit Podcast. You are live with Coach Morgan here. Happy Monday. And today I wasn't actually sure what I really wanted to dig into until I saw a post from someone that I really respect and appreciate, Dr. Sean Pastuch. And he was talking on a topic. The topic doesn't matter, but the notion about it matters in being an action taker, not a victim. And this kind of was really hit home for me just in the moment. It was really timely in the moment for me because, like I say, I wasn't really sure what I want to talk about today, but there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of stuff that's happening right now for myself personally, for my business, in life, in society. And so this sentiment of being an action taker, not a victim, really kind of landed for me right now in this moment. And I really appreciate the timing of it because it really speaks to, us living in these moments right now in life, whether it's what's going on in the world, whether it's what's going on in your personal life, in your business, whatever facet it is in, are we sitting in those moments and just, being upset about how they're going, being upset or disappointed with how things are, and not doing anything about it, not actually taking action on anything, right? It's this idea that, we can't really be upset about a result if we didn't actually take any action towards trying to change it. If we didn't take any action towards trying to do something about it, right? We can't truly sit and be all upset over the fact that something happened if we didn't actually step forward and do something about it. And that really landed for me today because, there's a lot of things happening. There's some new things coming down the pipeline in regards to businesses here in BC and whatnot. And it just had me thinking like, okay, I'm frustrated about this. I'm kind of annoyed by it, but I understand, where it's generally coming from. And I can either sit in it as a victim and be like, all upset and all this whatever about things, or I can look to take action. I can consider what can I actually do, right? What is within the realm of possibility for myself so that regardless of the outcome, regardless of the result, I can sit and say, I did something that I believe in, that I think is needed and right, and not be upset with the outcome at the end of the day because I actually did something. I actually took action on it. And this applies to all facets of our life. This applies to all aspects of our business, of our relationships, of anything that we do. This applies to it because, I can sit here with my business every single day and look at all the things, right? And get caught up in like, why isn't this happening? Or a coach not doing this, or this isn't working, or whatnot. And I can get all upset about it and play that victim card. Or I can choose to stand up and do something about it, take action on something, no matter how micro or small it is. And I talk about this all the time with clients and coaches that I work with about small action steps. And, it's one of those funny things where I catch myself needing to, listen to my own advice, right? I need to listen to my own advice. And I'll be the first to say it that, sometimes I can get caught up in my emotion of it and my kind of playing that victim versus being like, no, I got to take some action on some things. And irregardless of the outcome of it, I have to take some form of action because then I can say that I tried. Then I can say I put forth an effort. And again, that applies to your health and your wellness, your fitness. That applies to your relationships. That if something doesn't end up working out, I would have rather have said I tried and I took action and I did something to see and provide the opportunity for a possible outcome than to have never done anything and just sit and wallow in that, being upset about it. Right? So when something happens in your life, when you're struggling with something, right? When you're facing adversity in your business, in a relationship, in your health and fitness journey, right? When you're facing adversity of some sort, we can have the moments. We can definitely sit in those moments of being kind of upset about certain things or or not happy with the current progress or what's going on, we can definitely feel those emotions. There's nothing saying we can't feel those emotions. But once we've acknowledged that, once we've acknowledged where we currently sit with how we feel about it, now let's do something about it. And it's funny saying this out loud because this is something that I say to clients all the time, right? I ask them, okay, how does that make you feel? Right? How do you feel about that? Like, how did that feel when it comes to a movement pattern? How do you feel about that when it comes to their business? What does that make you feel when we talk about this out loud? And they tell me, and then the next step is always, okay, so what could we do about it to change that outcome? What could we do to change that feeling right now? Or what are a couple things? And then what are the primary things that we could focus on? And I can be better at that myself. And that was why this was so timely for me today to hear Dr. Sean say this statement, because it was like, yeah, okay, with multiple things going on, opening a new facility, right? Different things happening within business, trying to continue to develop and grow personal life, things going on in my personal life in regards to, my kid has a little bit of an allergy thing going on and whatnot. So there's lots of things happening. And I could sit here and play that victim card. I could sit here and play that emotional side of feeling like a victim. Or I could just stand up and go, okay, I can take action on something. And maybe I don't particularly want to do one thing or the next. Maybe there's, this feeling of like, I'm not really happy with that action, but it's an action that's necessary, it's needed, or it's required. And maybe I'm upset about it in a personal belief kind of standpoint, but in a macro sense of it, it's an action that needs to be taken. And so that was really a powerful thing for me today to hear that. And I hope that that's a powerful thing for you to hear today about not playing that victim card, right? We can sit in those emotions, we can sit in those feelings and have that time and give ourselves that opportunity to feel that. And then we can step forward and be an action taker. We can step forward and actually put something forth of ourselves so that no matter the result at the end of the day, we can say that we did something, that we tried, that we spoke up, that we, took the step that we needed to take. So I hope that that enlightens you in some way. I hope that that provides some form of thoughtful deep dive maybe into your mind, into what's going on for you today. Because it did for me. It did for me. And I'm really grateful for Dr. Sean Pastuch putting that thought out there for me and challenging me on that, to be more of an action taker and not play the victim card when circumstances kind of push back against you and you feel like something's challenging your stance or your position or your environment, right? As I say a lot, environment dictates, what we are, who we are, and what we become. And we have the ability to change and control our environment, right? Both mentally, physically, emotionally, in our physical environment outside of our bodies. We can choose to change those things, right? It doesn't mean it's an easy step, but we can take action on that as opposed to sitting in it and being the victim of it. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to add to that today. That was really, like I said, I didn't really know what I wanted to touch on today or speak on today. So I'm grateful for Dr. Sean Pastuch for throwing that thought process out there in my mind, of being an action taker and not a victim, right? And actually thinking about, okay, what can I do? Knowing that no matter the result, right, I'll be upset with myself more if I didn't do something and didn't get a certain result, or a certain result happened and I didn't take action, versus if I did take action and the same result happened, but at least I could say I took action. At least I could say that I did something that aligned with myself and what I was trying to achieve or accomplish around my vision, my business, my personal life, whatever it is. At least I could say that I took action on it and the result is what it's going to be. And maybe there's something more I can do after that. But again, that requires further action. So be an action taker, not a victim. Level up.